As Only Murders in the Building Season 4 continues to unravel its latest mystery, Episode 5 kicks things into high gear. Following the dramatic end of Episode 4, we pick up with the podcast trio, Charles, Oliver, and Mabel, facing a potentially dangerous situation as Bev Mellon points a gun at them. While the tension is high, it's quickly diffused when Bev recognizes the trio and reveals she found the weapon, seemingly adding another layer to this increasingly complex case.
Down.
Oh, this? It's not loaded.
Right from the jump, we're introduced to the first big mystery of the episode. Bev, the producer of the Only Murders in the Building movie adaptation, has her own suspicions about Saz's murder. She hints that someone involved in the movie might have been behind the crime, immediately casting doubt on her own team. While Bev presents an alibi strong enough to dodge the trio's accusations, she reveals something crucial. Saz left her a voicemail the night of her murder, expressing concern about the movie. The call never happened, leaving yet another dead end. Continuing their investigation, the trio heads to the film's production office. In classic Only Murders fashion, nearly everyone they encounter is suspicious. Yet, amid the chaos, one standout moment is their interview with Marshall, the nervous screenwriter, who oddly relishes being considered a suspect. Marshall's quirky confession about suffering from imposter syndrome not only adds comic relief, but also connects deeply with Mabel, who has struggled with her own self-doubt throughout the series. Charles shows Marshall the murder board. It's split into 4 sections. The first section is the who, with a picture of Saz, Charles, and a question mark. The second section is the how, and it shows the timestamps of what happened that night. At 11:07, Saz left a voicemail for Bev. At 11:08, the killer took their shot. At 11:09, the killer takes the stairs. Between 11:10 and 11:13, the killer heads to the Arconium main. At 11:14, the killer enters the lobby. At 11:16 to 11:18, the killer enters apartment and cleans the crime scene. At 11:18, the killer uses Charles's missing suit bag for the body, and at 11:19, the body hits incinerator and there's a power outage. The third section is the why or motives. Overly aggressive Emmys campaign. Actors Charles got fired. Stole someone's hairstylist. LA beef. Too many letters. To steal the podcast. Fired agent. Fight over residuals. Fender bender. Get out of paying rights. Outbid producer for sculpture. Generate heat for Only Murders movie. Other jealous TV cops. And finally, actors beat out for parts. The fourth section is the why now. It only has 2 notes. Saz called Bev Mellon and said there was a problem on the movie, which happened at 11:07. Right after that, Saz was shot. Marshall critiques Charles's murder board. He points out a major flaw in their timeline, which sets the trio on a new path. Could it really be possible for someone to commit Saz's murder and incinerate the body in such a short amount of time? Marshall's observations leave the group questioning their entire theory, propelling the narrative forward. Oliver, facing his own insecurities over his relationship with Loretta, is determined to prove his athletic prowess by reenacting the crime scene. His attempt to recreate the murder timeline is both hilarious and heartbreaking. As we watch him fail spectacularly, it's a reminder that this show balances humor and suspense in such a brilliant way, often using comedic moments to highlight the character's vulnerabilities. His failure, however, has greater implications. It forces the trio to reconsider their understanding of the crime, opening the door to a new theory. What if there were 2 killers? This epiphany from Charles shifts the investigation in a major way, giving the trio a fresh perspective on the case. Mabel's investigative instincts kick into high gear, and the trio hatches a new plan, using footprints to track down their suspect. Eva Longoria, who plays Mabel's movie counterpart, steps in to help in this clever scheme, laying out fake maps for people to walk on. It's a fun callback to earlier episodes and demonstrates how resourceful and creative Mabel has become as an amateur detective. The reveal of the matching footprint is a pivotal moment. It connects the mysterious Trina brothers, who, in a typical omit twist, are actually sisters, to the crime. But just as we think the trio might finally be onto something, the episode leaves us hanging on an intense cliffhanger. A gunshot rings out, the screen goes black, and we are left to speculate on what just happened. Episode 5 masterfully raises more questions than it answers, staying true to the series' tradition of throwing twists and red herrings into the mix. Who is truly responsible for Saz's murder? Could it be one or both of the Trina sisters? Or could it be three people who killed Saz? One to shoot, one to clean up the apartment, and one to turn on the incinerator. Notice how Charles suspects there are two people involved in Saz's murder after seeing Eugene Levy dressed as him. However, there are actually three Charleses: Charles himself, Eugene Levy, and the stunt double. And if you look closely, doesn't it look like the guy who entered Charles' apartment? Could this mean that there are actually three killers, and is he the third one? What role does Bev play in all of this? And why was Saz so concerned about the movie adaptation? Saz knew about the movie adaptation before the trio did. Maybe the sensitive topic Saz wanted to tell Charles was about the script and how they were going to portray his character. The looming question of whether there were two murderers continues to gnaw at the trio and us as viewers. The episode's final moments, with the gunshot and the cliffhanger, leave us eagerly anticipating what's next. The stakes are getting higher, and the mystery is more tangled than ever. Only Murders in the Building continues to expertly blend comedy, suspense, and character development, delivering an episode that deepens the mystery while keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. As the series pushes forward, we can't wait to see how the trio untangles this web of deception and who will ultimately pay for Saz's murder. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.